Welcome to Primos for Life, the wrestling podcast made for the fans, by the fans. Como siempre, yo soy Eddie, el niño vaque. We got Ariel, the Ecuadorian dream bisueta, and we are your self-proclaimed, undisputed co-host tag team champions of the world. And in tonight's episode, we're joined by one of the newest and most imposing forces in the NWA women's division. You've seen her on NWA Powerrr. Now we're diving into her wrestling journey, the grind of training, and what's coming next. Primos, we got Gretta. So, como siempre, sit back, grab a stack, and let's get it on! Gretta, the powerhouse, the giant, the monster, the newest addition to the NWA, the National Wrestling Alliance. Wow. Gretta, this, first of all,
done. Congratulations.
Yes, right? Like, for sure. I mean, that's huge. I mean, we'll get into all that. But first, because I have a bad habit of just jumping in, you know what? Gretta, how are you? Thank you for coming on. How's everything?
Hey, look at this. You learned. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm learning.
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah.
Well, good. Right. Body feels good. Brain feels right. You're okay.
Well, body's as good as it can be. I'm
Right.
throwing
Considering
people around. Yeah.
considering what you do, it'll be where it needs to. It's
yeah.
wonderful.
Luckily, I'm the one usually throwing people, so it's not as bad
Yeah.
as it could be. So,
lucky you, right?
yeah, I know.
Yeah, you're the one giving the bumps. You're not taking the bumps. So there you go.
All right.
Well, you know, with that being said, okay, Gretta, again, thank you so much for coming on to the show, hanging out with the Primos for Life. We are super excited, and I'm very, very, very excited because this is like a full circle moment for us, really, because in the beginning of the show, like when we first started in our first couple of episodes, I actually told Ariel about, you know, our paths crossing again, right? Because it back then, almost a year ago, it was like a full circle moment from that point in time because we actually met, I guess now 3-4 years prior, right?
Yeah.
Like 4 years prior at a local NXT show, right? I had my cousin David with me, you know, shout out to the David. He was visiting and I was like, let's go see wrestling. And we ended up going to, I think it was the Largo show or Clearwater. It might've been Largo, right?
It was Largo, yeah.
Yeah. So we end up going out there and then I see you and your dad, right, sitting next to us. And obviously you guys have that tremendous height. You guys are hard to miss. And we were sitting there chatting and I'm sitting there looking at you and I'm like, you know, how are you not in the ring? Like, why are you not in there? And then you were like, well, because I'm 16. And I was like, wait, what?
That checks. Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah.
I was like, wait a minute, what? You 16? Like, oh my gosh, you're like, and you were just like, yeah, I know, but like, it would be awesome. Like, I would love to. But then I remember your dad was like, no, it ain't gonna happen. Like, she ain't gonna do that, and she ain't gonna go in there. And I was like, okay. I mean, hey, I'm just saying, it would make sense if you did go down that path. And then 2-3 years later, 2 years later, we meet again at a local, independent wrestling show. I see you in the ring, a force to be reckoned with. And I was like, no way. Like, she's in the ring. That's incredible. Like, who would have thought? And then obviously after, during intermission, I run up to you and I was like, I don't know if you remember me, but we met each other at NXT 2 years prior. And oh my gosh. And then here we are a year later, the newest member of NWA, again, like Ariel said, congrats on that. And here we are. And again, we are so grateful to have you on the show. We can't wait to have our primos and primas learn about you and just, tell us about this very, very new and early career for you. And again, we're super excited. Okay, I'll stop babbling. Arielito, take over, give her the lowdown.
yeah.
What we going to get into next?
Well, once again, thank you very much, because the one thing we also realize is that when it comes to all of the people who come with us, your time is very important and valuable. So thank you for giving us just a little bit of your time. We appreciate it, for you taking, some time to give to two schlubs who just love to talk wrestling. Thank you very much.
Yeah, of
B,
course.
I do recall the conversation that he had with me. He's like, I met this girl, and and then he sent me the picture, and I'm like, oh great. And then a year later, he's like, look, she's in the ring, like da I was like, oh great, cool, like awesome. So I have known about you for a little while,
No?
but it's nice for a chance for our primos and primas, which is what we call our listeners, to be able to
Mhm.
get you to know you as well. Because the one thing that Eddie and I love to do, and we say this all the time, and we get this out of the way now, is that we
Mhm.
love to pull the curtain back and
Mhm.
let our primos and primas know, because most of them are wrestling fans. But for the people who
Mhm.
are new, that it's just not about the people in the ring who people think they're big jocks and they do this and that. It's like, no,
Yeah.
there's a story involved. There's bumps that have
Mhm.
to be taken. It's not, there's no injuries. No, I mean, you kidding me? Let me slam you on a mat that's made of
Yeah,
wood and this
exactly.
much thing. Like, let's see how you feel after doing that 3 nights a week, and tell me they're not athletes. So
Mhm.
once again, thank you very much for your time. Thank you for being awesome, for being you and genuine. And we are so happy that you're here. Can't
Mhm.
wait to have everyone be as excited as Eddie and I are right now. So
Yeah,
once again, a thank you. And now I will stop babbling and go into what we will normally do.
yeah,
So typical industry standard interview, except Eddie and I have what we call our staple question sandwich. We
Mhm.
start with the same question for all our guests, whether it be talent such as yourself, referees, friends, whoever's there, and then we finish with the same question. So everything in between, interview style, we're going to go back and forth, shoot you from
Mhm.
there. Sound like a plan?
Perfect.
Wonderful. All
yes.
right.
Let's go.
Well, so let's start with this, Greta. So once again, welcome on in. First
Mhm.
question that we always ask is, what is your, and this is kind of lengthy, so bear with me a moment. What is your first memory of wrestling? What is your, like, the first time you remember it? Because for Eddie, it's the debut of Kane. And for
Mhm.
me, I just remember sitting with my grandfather watching Lucha Libre in the living room in the Bronx and just
Mhm.
being like, oh, this is fun because my grandfather's watching it, so this is cool. Eddie was surprised that Kane, this big monster, Taker was in
Yes.
the ring, so much stuff
Yeah.
happening. So do you recall your first memory of wrestling, and what was it?
What's so funny is I didn't grow up with wrestling. Like, I wasn't aware of it. So, I grew up in, like, my family loves theater. So we love, like, performing and all of that. Like, my parents met doing musical theater. My
Right.
grandpa writes music for off-Broadway shows. So, like, I'm very involved in that. So I always did musical theater and all of that and dance since I was, like, 13. I started doing it, like, trying to focus on it.
Hmm.
And so I loved it, but being 6'6", I didn't fit
Hmm.
in, like, the box of a dancer.
Right.
So it was like I was doing something I loved, but I didn't feel like I fit in to that box. So
Right.
Right.
then my dad was like, "Here, come watch this." And it was a YouTube video of the WrestleMania 3 Hulk Hogan versus Andre the Giant. And he's
Oof.
like, "You should watch this." I'm like, "Okay." And he's like, "This could be you." And I didn't realize it was fake.
Right.
So
Right.
I
Yeah.
was like, I thought he wanted me to fight. Like, I didn't know
Yeah.
what was
Wait,
going
Dad, you want me to
on.
whoop somebody's
Yeah.
ass? All right.
So I was
Yeah.
like, "Okay." So and then after that, we found a local NXT show. That's where we met Eddie. And then we looked around at different schools, and then we came across FTW
Mm.
school, and I've been there. I've been training since, like, it was literally, like, the week after I turned 16. I
Mhm.
started
Wow.
training, and I've been doing it since, so
So wait, if I may, because
yeah.
Eddie had this point before, so just a bonus question. Sorry,
Mhm.
with your father telling Eddie, no, 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 this isn't going to happen. Like he was still with you to take you to these schools to show you the things. Like was he cool with
Yeah.
it, or was it something more where you were like, no, Dad, let's go. Like it's like we're going, or
Yeah.
was he like all right, no, babe, come
He
on, like stop.
yeah, he had the idea of it, but it was still like, I was still 16, so it was still like a,
Right.
like,
Yeah, you're his little
Yeah.
situation.
girl, so he has
Yeah,
to be careful.
exactly.
Yeah,
I'm
of
his only
course.
daughter,
Yeah.
so, like, whole thing. So, yeah,
All right, but
but
so he was cool with it and did help
yeah.
you, even though he really didn't want to. But see,
Yeah,
that's what I love, because even though he didn't want to, your happiness is what mattered, and that's why
yeah,
he did it. So
yeah. Him and my mom and
props
my
to you, Dad,
brothers.
and
Yeah,
mom.
they're very
Props to
supportive.
your fam. Props to your fam.
Mhm.
Awesome, awesome,
Yep.
awesome. Okay, so the first memory was WrestleMania 3 on YouTube.
Mhm.
Also,
Wow.
I mean, if you're gonna get introduced, that's
Yeah.
probably the match to do it. I
Mhm.
mean, that's what most people were like, "Oh, this is something
Yeah.
amazing. Let's get into it."
Wow. Well, you know what? It's funny that you said that, Ariel, because in my mind, I like to, because I like to, like, my wife tells me that I do this all the time. Like when people ask, "Oh, how did you guys meet?" It's like my story changes every time I tell people. Like I make myself sound like, oh man, I
Cooler?
cooler than, yeah, exactly. So like
Yeah.
in my mind, I like to think, oh, you know what? I walked out that day convincing your dad to let you do this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You probably helped encourage at least.
Yes, there you
Yeah.
go. I'll take it. A
Gre-
little bit of
Greta,
Yeah.
Greta,
encouragement.
Greta, do everybody a favor and thank Eddie now, because if it wasn't
Yeah.
for him, you wouldn't be here.
No, no,
Ooh.
no, no. Of course, I will never
Kidding,
take
kidding,
credit
kidding,
for
joking,
the
joking.
hard work and the time that you put in. But
Well, that's the
it
thing.
is
The dedication, hard work, and especially at a
yeah,
young age. I mean,
Yeah.
that is something very hard to find, which also shows how much you do truly love it. Because at a
yeah,
young age like that, to give all your time and everything that you have
Mhm.
to become, a wrestler and a performer to the ability that you are, where you are now with NWA, that
Mhm.
takes a lot. So props
yeah,
to you for at a young age having that drive to do so.
yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely,
Thank you.
absolutely. And then also based on your response to Ariel's question, I'm
Mhm.
gonna switch up the next question up a little
Yeah.
bit. So since your first exposure was WrestleMania 3, under the giant Hogan. So from that point on, what wrestlers did you start watching that influenced you more as far as style and for, the love of the sport, like the love for the
Mhm.
business? Like what if that match brought you in, what kept you in there? What other, what else did you get from other matches and other wrestlers?
Yeah. Well, once we started getting into it, my family got really really into it. So we started
Okay.
watching Monday Night Raw, SmackDown, NXT. Like we wanted to make sure we knew what was going on.
Okay.
So we started I think it was 3 years ago, the WrestleMania. Like that's where we started because we thought it was good because they recap everything, they do
Right.
it, and then they start
Yeah.
storylines over.
Yeah.
So it just worked out. So we started from there. And actually, before we started watching, we went back and, watched all the Royal Rumbles and stuff like that, so we were,
Nice.
familiar
Nice.
with the characters, we
Right.
studied, so
Nice.
we
Nice.
started to love it,
Yeah.
but what I noticed is, with being a bigger force myself, I loved,
Hmm.
Braun Strowman. I really liked Big E, he was one of my favorites,
Oh,
just his
Yeah.
character and
Right.
everything, and,
yeah.
how it seems like he's a little bit more introverted, per se, but, he brings that character out and,
Mhm.
Yeah.
just times 10. So I thought that was incredible. And then, Nia Jax, Raquel, like, China, all these incredible females that can show that they can be tall and, strong and all of that. So, I don't know, mostly the bigger forces and energies, but
Yeah.
I
I
don't know. I
mean,
just love wrestling, so just anyone in
Yeah.
general.
Yeah.
well, also, I mean, because like you said, you have a certain frame that most other
Mhm.
women don't have
Right.
Yeah.
at your height. So it's to be able to see people that you can kind of emulate
Mhm.
and take that from, obviously was of huge importance to you, and that's
Yeah.
fantastic. That's great.
Yeah.
And I mean, you've watched some of the greats, and you've done your homework,
Yeah.
because like you said, you went back and you went and watched
Mhm.
all
Yeah.
of these things prior. So
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
kudos
Yeah.
to you. Kudos to you. That's fantastic. Well, I mean, you kind of bit into my next question, which was, who did you watch, which you already said. So,
Yeah.
um, my next question is then, what surprised you when you started wrestling, professionally? Like, well, obviously
Mhm.
professionally, but what surprised you most about yourself? What did you learn about yourself when you first started doing this that you didn't necessarily think about yourself prior?
Hmm. That's hard. Um, I feel like mostly how dedicated I can be per se.
Okay, great.
I feel I don't know, it can take a lot out of you, especially there's a lot of people that can do it for fun, for a hobby, but if you really want this to be your career, you have to go for it. So I feel
Yeah.
just putting the aspect that I was willing to do that, and, like, there has been moments where it's like, "Oh, I don't think I can do this." Like, it's a lot,
Mm,
Right.
and, like, it's a lot of pressure, it's a lot of work, but I feel like just the fact that, like, the love for it and be like, "Oh, this could be something," like, I feel like I'm just proud of myself that I was able to push through and continue to push through to
yeah.
make it work. So, I don't know, like, yeah,
I mean, no, that's a great answer. You've learned that your dedication is better than you
yeah,
would have even thought it was.
yeah,
Because when it's something you love, you put
mhm,
it all out there, and that's what you did.
exactly, yeah,
Awesome, awesome.
Okay, so just to take a quick step back then on that
mhm,
response. So then how about, what made you finally want to actually pursue it? Because you said it yourself, like, you put yourself through it, you went through it, and there were times where you almost didn't finish with it or go through with it, but you learned that you actually could, and look where you
mhm,
are now. Like, you're officially signed with a company.
yeah,
But to take it back to the beginning, what was the thing that clicked in your head to be like, you know what? I am actually going to do this. I am going to take my first bump and get up the next day and
mhm,
take the next bump and the next bump. And
mhm.
here you are. Like, what clicked in your head to actually pursue it?
Um, I don't know, like, I think it's just the fact that, like, I really felt like this was something that, like, I can embrace my height and, like, what God has gifted me with, where, like, from a young age, I've really struggled with, like, identity and stuff like that because it's, like, a lot of my friends were not 6'6" or, like,
Right.
6'4" at age, like, 12. So, like, it's it was something I had to deal with, but nothing I couldn't change how I look.
Right.
So I think just the fact that, like, I felt like I can embrace it, and my coaches, it took them, like, over a year, well, I'm still working on it, of, like, especially being in ballet and stuff, I was trying to be as petite as I could be and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So, like, the fact that they're like, "No, be the tallest you can, embrace your height," and all of that, I just think it was incredible. Like, embrace what you have, try to make
Right.
it as big as you can, like, I don't know, that made me really wanna drive forth with it, where it's like, I can be representation of, even though you look different, even though you're out of the box, like, you can
Mhm.
find something that works for you, and, like, I really felt like when I go to church and stuff like that, like, God telling me, like, "This is my calling," like, "This is what he wants me to do," so, I don't know. It just made me wanna keep going.
That's beautiful though, because a lot of times, especially in like Ariel says, kudos to you, because a lot of times, especially in this day and age, it's
Mhm.
really, really hard for I say kids because obviously we're older than you, but kids to really embrace being outside of the box and
Yeah,
really moving forward with that and making and saying to themselves, you know what, this is who I am, and hate it or love it, I'm
yeah,
going to move forward with this.
Right.
Sometimes it takes years for somebody
yeah,
to really find out who they are or who they want to be. So for you to be able to discover that at such a young age, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing,
Yeah.
Greta. We're
yeah,
excited for you, and that was such a lovely answer. Like, I love
Yeah.
that. That was
I,
awesome.
I mean, it seems like, if I may, like it, being who you were growing up, and I
mhm,
mean, like you said, at your height and stuff like that, feeling a little bit kind of awkward. This gave you a chance to embrace,
mhm,
who you were finally, where you were in a room where you felt comfortable, where
yeah,
you've been in so many places before where you didn't necessarily feel that way. And I'm not that
yeah,
I'm trying to speak for you, but I feel like I'm
yeah,
just kind of going through it. Like, so now you felt a place where you're like, okay, great. Here I'm good, and I'm one of the people who are here, and that's fantastic. Kind of giving you like a more at home, settled feeling,
mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right?
exactly, yeah,
yeah. It's almost like wrestling is your safe space, which is
yeah,
cool.
mhm.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Mhm,
A lot of people can't say that. A lot of people can't say that.
yeah,
So, all right. So then let me jump in. So your first professional match,
okay.
okay? What was going through your mind right before you walked through the curtain, the door, whatever it was, for your first match? Like as you're prepping and you're like, okay, my music's about to hit.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
up.
Oh
what
man.
is what is that? What is that mindset, and what is going through your head when that happens?
it it was scary. So, like, with NWA, that'd be my first match, pro match, I'd had matches with, Natalia Markova because she's my coach, and I was, like, one of the only girls, so I fought her a couple times, like,
Mhm.
since I was 16. So, like, just being legal, like, turning 18, like, so young, like, there's not a lot of girls in the sport,
Right.
so it's, like, trying to represent at the same time, but
Yeah.
being put with, like, because I was with Tiffany, I was with Sam, and then against the Page sisters. Because I thought, like, my first match with NWA, because like, I had already been kinda guaranteed, like, my contract, and we can get to that later, but,
Yeah.
like, so I already knew that I already had, like, a match because Brian Idol was telling me and all this stuff. So I was like, "Oh, it's gonna be, like, with other indie wrestlers. It's gonna be, like,
Mhm.
people at my page that are, like, as green as I am and stuff like that." So, being, like, thrown in per se, like, even though I knew what I was doing, just getting in my head about it, like, against, like, some of the top stars of NWA and, like, in women's wrestling in general, like,
Yeah.
it was intimidating, like, cause I don't know, cause I'm like, "Oh, what if, like, I'm the one that messes up the match?" Like, they do everything perfect, and then it's like I come in here, I'm not a giant enough. So, I don't know. It was scary, but, like, and I'm sure people have told you this before, like, once you go through the, like, curtains or, like, the walkway, like, you're, like,
Mhm.
a different person. Like,
Yeah, we've
Right.
heard that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
like, it takes the adrenaline and everything, like, takes over you. So, like, that match, like, it's either gonna be, like, hours long, it feels, or, like, 5 seconds, and that match
Right.
felt like 5 seconds, which is good,
Wow.
but I couldn't really I didn't know if it was actually good because it went by so fast for me.
Right.
But,
Right.
like, I
Right.
don't know, I feel like my mind once I went out there was like, "Oh, I need to lock in, like,
Mhm.
stare as intensely as I can, choke slam as tall as I can,"
Yeah.
because they didn't give me much because I don't need to do much.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's like with the little bit that they gave me, make it as big and as impactful as I can. And it was in Tampa, so I had so many friends and family there too. So I was like,
Yeah.
there's
Extra
so much
nerves.
pressure, yeah,
Extra nerves.
and all my
Yeah.
classmates and stuff like that. So, but it was an amazing moment. Like, and then once I came backstage, like Billy Corgan and all these people were like clapping for me and stuff like that.
Oh, that's
And I was like,
amazing.
Nice.
oh, like yeah.
Nice.
So, it was
Yeah.
a special moment. I was definitely scared and nervous, but it turned out really good, so
So, if I may, because a lot of
Mhm,
people will say they're like, a lot of times when we speak to talent, they're like, I don't go back and watch my matches because I just want to pick them apart in
mhm.
every possible way. Have you gone back and watched that first match? And what were your thoughts when you did, if you did?
Uh, yeah, I did. So, the thing with, like, NWA is, like, we film stuff, it takes a little bit, and then it gets posted, like, on
Mhm.
Yeah.
Roku and stuff like that. So, my mom, I had her stay backstage because I wanted her to record, like, the monitors that we had, because I wanted her
Mm.
to also get, like, the other wrestlers' reactions per
Oh,
se, because I wanted to
smart.
see how
Great.
they reacted.
I mean,
So
that's very smart. Eddie said
yeah.
so to see how the other talent sees you, and
Mhm.
that's great. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I
Go
had
ahead. Yeah.
little spies in the back watching for me. But, so I got to watch that, like, when I got home and stuff, and, like, I overthinking, I'm like, "Oh, that wasn't good." But and then once they put it on Roku and stuff like that, I was like, "Okay, it's better than I thought."
Right.
And then once people started commenting and stuff, I'm like, "Oh,
Yeah.
it's better." So,
Yeah, I mean, it always seems like you're always your own worst critic, right?
yeah,
Right.
Like,
exactly.
so you thought it was terrible, and everyone else was giving you props. So yeah, so
Yeah,
you trying to
yeah.
find a happy place in the middle to live.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And actually, because you just re-explained that, you're right.
Mhm,
I was there at that show too.
mhm,
And wow, now it makes me feel even extra like special or extra excited
mhm,
about it because that was your debut. And I remember like the section that I was sitting, the impression that
mhm,
you made amongst the people that don't know you on this level, right? Like I ran to tell you like at
yeah,
intermission because I was like, you made such an impression with your presence. Like everybody was like, "Yo, this girl reminds me of like she got that Kane energy, like this
yeah,
and
you
that."
yeah.
And I 1,000% agree with them because You did. You locked in. You came out. Everybody was like, who is this? Why, like, what is happening? Like, why is she not talking? Why is she not smiling? Did you see that choke slam? Like it was I know in your like in your experience, it felt like 5 seconds, but to the fan looking at it happening, it was like the longest 10 minutes ever because it was just like this. She's a monster. What is happening? So you did your job. So letting you know now, letting our primos know now, letting Ariel know now, you rocked it. You knocked it out of the park that day. So kudos to you.
Thanks.
So no, but it's true. It's true. All right. But getting back to the questions, right? So let's talk training, right? Now, can you let us know, where I know you mentioned a couple of trainers and things like that, but where do you train and who are these trainers? Or do you have specific ones that work with you on specific things? And what do you feel if you had to pinpoint something that one of your trainers gave you as far as like a fundamental or something that you carry with you as your foundation that you feel has prepared you the most for that debut or any match going forward?
So
I know
I
that
trained
was
at
a long one. I'm
FTW.
sorry.
You're good, you're good. I'll go through it chunk by
You gotta
chunk.
let her know you're breaking it down into like 4 questions.
Yeah, my bad. I just got excited. I'm sorry.
You're good. So I train at FTW, so Fight the World Wrestling. It's in Pinellas Park in like the Tampa area, St. Pete. But so it's one of the NWA territories. It's run by Mikey Mondo, Natalia Markova, and Brian Idol. So
Nice.
3 current NWA champions.
Yes.
Like they know what they're talking about.
Right. Yeah.
So I've been training there since I was 16. So we're coming out at like 3 years soon.
Okay.
So, but since I've started, it started with Natalia Markova and Brian Idol. And then in the past 2 years, Mikey Mondo has joined us. And so Natalia or Brian usually teach on Tuesdays, and then Mondo usually teaches on Thursdays. Or it switches, but we usually we have one coach at least each practice, which is how it should be. But they all teach like different aspects, which is nice.
Okay.
Like they each have their own way of teaching, and Mondo actually says like everyone has their own flavor of ice cream, which is how it like works for like wrestling in general. Like everyone has their own opinion of how they want to do things. So, but Natalia's more on like perfecting everything, like even like the basics and stuff like that. So like her classes, we do a lot of like lockups, like bumps, like clotheslines, shoulder tackles, punches, like stuff that's like simple per se, but like trying to clean it so it looks impactful. And
Keep
then,
everything tight. You want you to keep everything
exactly.
tight. Right.
Yeah. And then Brian, he's more on like bigger stuff, bigger moments, and then him and Mondo do promos a lot too.
Nice.
Which
Yeah.
I don't like promo classes because like you have to step up in the ring by yourself, improv. I don't know. It works out, but it's stressful. But and then Mikey does a lot of technique as well as Natalia. So we do a lot of strikes and stuff like that. But he really likes to talk about like the stories of it, where it's like, how does this connect? And we do a lot of tag team stuff too, because he's been a tag team champion with WWE and all of that. So he knows that really well. So we do a lot of like storytelling. So like he has us work on like the heat. And it's like, oh, you did an arm drag. Now you're working that arm. Don't come off of the arm. Like, how does that work out?
That's good.
So they all have their ways that they want to focus on. So, which is really nice because it's like, then we have different things. We're not working on the same thing each class.
Right.
So, So each of them have their own ways of teaching. I love older classes. I resonate with Mondo's classes a lot though, because since I do come from like that acting background, the storytelling of connecting stuff really like resonates, and I love just the storytelling of wrestling. So
absolutely.
Well,
if the story doesn't work, then what are you doing?
Right.
So that has to be a major part of it. Absolutely. So it seems like just you're just happy to take everything that everyone's giving you, especially
Yeah.
because you're given 3 teachers who all
Mhm.
have different
Yeah.
positive or I forget the word I'm looking for, but
Level of
different
expertise.
things that they're really good at. The expertise, yes, different
Yeah.
expertises. So you're able to take those down. That's right. Thank
Mhm.
you, Eddie, for once. Hey, you got me one time. Look out.
Well,
But yeah, well, that's great. No,
And
that's
I'm on a
awesome.
roll
That's
tonight.
fantastic. Oh, look at you. Hot fire, hot fire.
wow.
Okay, so NWA Power. Walk us through the moment you found out you were going to be there. Like, how did that feel? How did you, like, what was going through your mind when they were like, hey, it's
It's
Power and you're up.
official.
Let's
Yeah.
go.
Yeah. So with like the Tampa tapings and all of that, since it's so local, my wrestling school is usually on crew for them. So since age 16, I've been going to the Tampa tapings at least and helping out with crew. So
Mm.
since like the first taping that I went to, Billy Corgan has come and like sat down next to me because Brian was talking to him about me. And Billy's like, "So you're 16?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Aw." He's like, "I wish we could hire you now," and stuff like that. Like, and
Mm,
every time you saw me, like Brian and Natalia, like, they're besties with him. Like, they talk to him
mm,
all the time. So, like, and they're very honest too. So, like, if I'm
right.
struggling or if someone's struggling, they're gonna tell Billy if he asks. Like,
Of course.
so
Yeah.
which is good that they're honest, but sometimes it's
Right.
like
Nerve
Don't
it's
tell
wracking.
them that. Stop.
yeah, exactly. It's
Why?
like, don't tell them
It was an
everything.
accident.
Exactly. Um, so, like, every time there was, like, a Tampa taping, and there's been a lot, like, Billy's come up, and he's been talking to me and been thinking about, like, "Oh, when you're gonna debut," and he's like, "Are you closer to 18 yet? Please turn 18 soon."
He's counting the months down. He
Yeah,
He's
was.
waiting.
exactly. So, and so which sucked because it's like, "Oh, I wanna be in it now," but it kind of forced me to, like, lock in, like, these 2 years and be
Right.
like, "Hey, I can't perform now, but let's make the most of it. Let's practice. Let's, like,
Right.
take the time that we need to move forward and be ready for that
Right.
debut." So, yeah, so I've
Yeah.
kinda already knew that I had that opportunity, but it's kind of
Mm,
like first impressions are everything. So it's like the
Yeah.
fact that I've already had the conversations of, like, who I am genuinely, but it's
mm,
like, how can I wrestle? How can I, like, be in character of, like,
right.
that first moment I had? Because
Right.
like, I was not on contract the first time I debuted on NWA, like,
Mm.
because it was, like, my audition. So,
Oh.
that's also why it was stressful. So, I don't know. So, like, I already knew that I had, like, the door open, but it's just, like, I don't know, taking advantage of it and continuing to build.
Well, that's what it is. What do you do when the doors open? Do you walk in
Yeah.
politely, or do you put mud all over the place with your shoes? Like,
Yeah, exactly.
how are you gonna do this? Like, so
Yeah.
oh, it's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Wow. That's intense. Like when you put it that way, it's like an audition, I'm just like, oh
Yeah.
man. Like that's the one time you want to make sure you don't fall down, like on the way to the
Mhm.
ramp or accidentally slip
Exactly, yeah.
or it's just like that is nerve wracking. Oh my
The
goodness. I can't
little
even
Well,
things,
imagine.
yeah.
the benefit also, I think, from what I'm getting is that knowing it was on the horizon,
Mhm.
it gave you the opportunity to want to perfect, so that when that did happen, you made the most of the opportunity that you were
For
Yeah.
given.
sure.
A wall play. Mhm.
Right.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Okay.
Right.
So now I got something to ask you, right? When it comes to now that you're
In
a
an
part of
interview,
this.
you have a question?
Yeah, I have a question, right? Like I know,
No.
right? I don't know where anyway. But now that you're a part of this locker room, right? Now that you're a part of this,
Mhm.
NWA family, I think the fun part as a fan, right, is that every time I do go to these shows, these tapings, um, it's always like you never know. I mean, like who the main players are going to be because obviously they're signed there, but then you
Yeah.
never know who else is going to show up. I mean, the last time I saw the Colognes there, and you get to see so many different talent coming in and out. I think I just
Mhm.
saw the next one. The Good Brothers are expected to go there now. You know what I mean? Like so many
Mhm.
different people. So with that
Yeah.
being said, getting back on track to the question, what has been the biggest influence behind the scenes for you so far? Have you had a chance to speak to the visitors, the ones that are coming through for these tapings, and pick their brains or ask questions or see how they work, especially if they're closer to working the way that you want to work? Right? Has that come up?
Mhm. Yeah, definitely, especially with, like, the people that are on contract with NWA.
Mhm.
Like, I've known them since I was 16, especially if they've been with the company that long. So, especially, like, Mike Knox, like,
Yeah.
I've been introduced to him, but he's a big influence to me, like, after each taping, like, he makes sure he's watching and I come to him, we have, like, a 10-minute discussion of how I can improve, what I've done good since the last taping, like, he's a good influence and, like, he's very supportive, and then, like, Alex Misery, Daisy Kill, they've been to, like well, they've worked with Brian Idol, so they are part of, like, FTW shows and stuff like that, so
Yeah.
opportunities like that. Definitely Tiffany and Sam, like, I haven't known them as long because when I was on crew, I'm not gonna go up and, like, be like, "Hey," like,
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna let them be, if they wanna come to me, they can, but I'm not gonna do all that. So but, like, they've been very supportive, like, especially with TVMA, with the promos and everything, like, they're making sure I look good, making sure, like, they're presenting me as good as I can, and,
Mhm.
like, paying it back to them, like, I make sure they look good, I make sure I'm supporting them well, and then, like, the Hex, like, they're incredible, the fact that I've
Yeah.
gotten to work with them now, like, a couple times, like, 'cause now
Mhm.
they're on the roster, like, it's just so cool. And, like, just, like, all my coaches too, like, they're very supportive, like, there's so many I don't know, like, I'm very blessed, like, the NWA locker room is very supportive, which I
Mhm.
found, like, it's literally like a family, like, everyone's, like,
Mm.
telling you advice, they're like, "Hey, that was really good," or, like, they're just very supportive, and if something went wrong, they're gonna tell you too, like, everyone's
Right.
very honest.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, and, like, the fact that I've gotten to, like, work with or be in the same locker room as really cool people, like, that I've
Mhm.
watched, like Shotzi and Alana, like, I got to be in that locker room and talk to
Wow.
her, and it was I don't know, it's so cool, and, like, the Good Brothers were in Atlanta and stuff like that, so just the opportunities or, like, just walking by people is so cool. Like, what's funny is I tell my mom this, I'm like, on show days, like, when I'm not, like, in gear, I wear high tops, like, I try to be as tall as I can, because if just a walk by, I want people to be like, "Whoa," like,
Whoa, who's
Oh,
that?
and then
hey,
start
Yeah.
the
who's that?
conversation.
Right.
Yeah, exactly, so, it's just cool, it's like, to be with a group of people that love what they're doing, and we're all just trying
Mhm.
to work together to put on a great show, so, I don't know, everyone's so
Absolutely.
That's
supportive,
awesome.
but yeah.
Yeah, well, I say you kind of answered the next question that I was going to go into,
Mm,
because what I was going to say is, being that you at 16 were at the shows, were a big fan. You
mhm,
started doing ring crew stuff. I was going to ask, what was the locker room like? And but you said it sounds like everybody's been,
yeah,
very, because they've
Fantastic.
known you
Yeah.
for a little while.
mhm,
So I'm going to just kind of throw a little side question here.
mhm.
Have you noticed? Did you feel ever? And you don't have to tell us who, but did you ever feel any kind of like, not animosity, but any kind of like side of like, who is she? Is it just because she's big that she's here? And not, and I'm not saying, like, once again, you don't have to mention names, but did you ever feel that, because you said that it's just like a big family? But the one thing Eddie and I know from having a big family, there's always that one person you look at like,
I know.
like, so did you ever, especially because you were coming in at such a young age, very
Mhm,
green, and your height and your stature kind of helped push you to that?
mhm.
Did you ever not necessarily feel that, but kind of like, okay, I feel like this isn't
I know who I have to watch
as
myself
homey as it
with.
can. Right, right,
Yeah.
right.
So, with having anxiety and everything and overthinking, I
Mm.
definitely thought people were thinking that,
Oh,
but I don't know. Yeah, but, I've had some classmates tell me it and stuff like that, but it's like, yes, like, I can admit my height got me in the door. Like
Right.
like, it definitely did. Like, my
Mhm.
looks and how I hold myself got me in the door, but that doesn't keep me there. Like, I've worked hard, like,
Right.
I've done practice, like, I know how to safely get a girl up and down. Like, if I was, like, just throwing people around willy-nilly, like,
Mm.
not knowing what I was doing, I wouldn't be safe to work with, and I wouldn't continue to stay in
Well,
this
you wouldn't have a
business.
job
Yeah,
if you're not
exactly.
safe to work with. They
So it's
wouldn't
like
keep you, right?
yeah,
yeah.
exactly. So it's like, yes, my height got me there, but it's not like more than just my height is keeping me there. Like
Right.
there's more than just that. So and also like I don't like talking so much about myself, but it's an interview. But
Sorry,
Whoa.
really
but
sorry.
but But the fact that, like and my parents have told me, like, how I act outside of the ring too, like, in the locker room. Like, when I work with people, I try to get as much notes and advice as I can, like, because
Yeah.
yes, I
Great.
am green,
Great.
where it's like, sometimes that frustrates me that I'm still green because I've been doing it since I was 16, but I haven't been doing it professionally since I was 16. This is a
Right.
different ballgame. So it's,
Right.
like, trying to learn, like, what I need to improve on, and asking the right people, and just I don't know, just taking advice and moving along with it. Because yes, like, I've had some rough tapings and some rough things happen, but it's like I've seen stuff where it's like how you move on from it. Like that's
Mhm.
what people are gonna look for.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like my height definitely got me in the door, but that's not
Mhm.
what is keeping me there. So
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of like that old adage. It's not how many times you get knocked down; it's how many times you get back up.
mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
So as long as you're showing them that you can do this and you want to do
Yeah.
this and you're keeping everybody safe, you can think what you want about what got me in, but I'm still here
True.
for a reason. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
well,
Yeah. So Greta, then let me ask you something. So what do you feel like you've learned, or what lesson have you learned that has stuck out to you now about since you've officially performed on television, right? Like on that
Mhm.
level compared to like an independent show that isn't necessarily televised. Because I know a lot of independent shows are now streamed, through YouTube and things
Mhm.
like that. But what is like the one major thing that when you go into a taping, you're like, okay, I got to remember to do this or do that or look here or look there, and what goes out the window when you're at like an independent show? You're like, well, it's independent. I don't really got to do all that here. Like, so let our, this is us pulling back the curtain so our
Mhm.
primos can learn, like, what are those things?
So at FTW, like Natalia and Brian especially, like focus on like, oh, this is hard cam. So it's like even in practice, like we have like the open side of like our ring, like where we get in usually, like that's the hard cam. So if you're doing a headlock takeover, turn so that you're facing the hard cam that sees your face.
Mm,
So it's like
right.
we're always learning how to do that. So like even at our indie shows, we're always like are asking, where's the hard cam? What are we
Right.
gonna try to focus on facing so that we're all working the
that
same like,
direction.
side? Yeah. So
Right.
like but with indie shows, we have more freedom to kind of work the audience too. But it's like what's nice, especially coming from an acting background too, is like I already have the awareness of like the camera. So
Mhm.
like especially I have a good like peripheral vision. So when the camera's like coming for like the like smolder and stuff like that, I
Mhm.
know it's coming and I won't look at it, but I'm like game face. Like
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
Yeah.
getting ready. So like I feel like I'm actually good at that aspect. So I feel like just what I focus on a lot, especially with my size and stuff, is ring awareness.
Mhm.
So I feel like what my coaches and just like in general help with, but
Mhm.
also our practice ring is a 14 by 14, which
Okay.
is a very small ring.
Mhm.
I've seen smaller, but it's a small ring compared to like the 20 by 20 we use on NWA.
Oh,
Mhm.
wow.
So it's like I feel like that does help where it's like I have to be tight, especially in my roles and everything like that. So then
Mhm.
it kind of does help when it comes to camera, where it's like I can be bigger than I
More
even
space
was
to
at
work with.
practice.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So I don't know. Like that's the main thing, especially like controlling myself
Mhm.
is ring awareness. Because also with throwing people and all of that. So
Not,
Yeah,
yeah, I
throwing
mean,
people
well,
here and here.
yeah,
That's no
just
casually.
biggie.
tossing people around the ring. Sure, why not?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so you mentioned ring awareness, and
Mhm.
my next question to you was going to be, um, what is the facet in your professional wrestling that you want to focus on and improve on? Is it that ring awareness that you want to make sure that you stay focused on, or is it the promos? Is it the
Mhm.
storytelling? Is it when you're locked in that ring by yourself with just the interviewer?
Mhm.
Like, what is the one aspect that you do want to focus a little more on or kind of improve on if you feel there is something?
Yeah.
Uh,
So ring awareness I've been focusing on for a while. And I feel like it's
Mhm.
always gonna be something I'm working on. But I feel like lately, like I don't know. Like, definitely promos, but it's
mhm.
hard where it's like my character doesn't really say anything anyways. But it's like
Mm.
being able to
It's
work
a
on
hard
that
that's a hard promo. It's a hard
it's a
promo if
hard
you can't
promo.
talk.
Well, especially with, like facials and everything where it's like even though I'm not saying anything, how can my presence, like,
Right. I was
show
about to
that?
say, you still gotta
Yeah.
say something without saying
Yeah.
something.
Right. You
Yeah.
have to tell a
Exactly.
story without telling a story.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I feel like lately it's been, like, mostly, like, strength. Like, I am definitely strong. Like, I can throw
Hey.
people, but I feel like just, like, continuing to grow that. Like, I already have the look, but being able to tone up more and be able to improve on, like, my move set to, like, hopefully one day lift a girl, like, all the way up like that. So, like, who knows? Like, yeah,
The full
continuing.
press. The full
Yeah,
press. Yeah.
will be awesome. That's what I'm working for. I'm working in the gym for that this year. But, so yeah, just continuing strength and conditioning, I feel like
Sure.
is the main thing, the main goal this year for Greta to work on. So, but yeah, always ring awareness. But I've been working on that since I started. So
As
Yeah.
it's
long as you can.
continuing to grow. But yeah, I think just presence and like strength, like I think getting more confident. Like I'm definitely more confident than I was when I started.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
being like, oh, like when I get in character, like when I'm in that ring, like give it my all. Like be more of a giant, be more like energy and stuff like that. Which is hard because like I don't want to be mean and stuff outside of the ring.
Yeah.
So it's like cuz I don't want to actually like hurt these girls cuz I know I could like if I really tried. Like not trying to not trying to like yeah. But like
Oops.
yeah, exactly. Like I know like
My
if I
bad.
gave it full force it could hurt, but it's like
Mhm.
everyone signs up for this knowing that could
Right.
happen. So it's like
Right.
Yeah.
also that in the back of my mind being like,
Mm.
know like what you're taught because we're learning how not to hurt people, but
Right.
it's like still give that presence and everything. So little aspects of ring awareness, presence, and strength and conditioning, but it
While
all
maintaining safety.
yes,
Right.
exactly. But
While
it all
maintaining
comes
safety.
together to put on a great performance. So
Okay.
Wow.
always
Okay.
working on it.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. Yeah. You always got to improve and always grow. Growth is the most
Yeah,
important thing. So
exactly.
that's awesome. So now, Greta, then, because it's, the beginning of the year, 2026, we're already, in February. And,
Yeah.
we always ask, like, okay, what are the goals? Right. And it's funny because most
Mhm.
of our guests that we do end up speaking to, especially from the independents, the goal is to get signed and get to that level. But I mean, to be honest with you, you're signed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
NWA has such a prestigious lineage and history. When you
Yeah.
look back and think about all the greats that have come through NWA to get to the WWE and now
Mhm. Yeah.
AEWs and TNAs, et cetera. So we're gonna
Mhm.
switch up that question a little bit. So what is your what do you see yourself in the next 2-3 years? What are your personal goals to achieve in NWA and maybe outside NWA for you as a wrestler
Mhm.
or even personally? Like, what do you see yourself for those goals? Like, what are you
And
trying to
and
accomplish?
real quick, not that you're trying to leave NWA,
Oh yeah,
Billy
of course
Corgan.
not. Yeah,
We're not trying to tell her to go. We're just asking. We're just asking
we're
what could
just
happen.
asking.
All
Yeah.
right, please.
Yeah. Um, so I love NWA, and I think it's a good starting ground. Who knows what will happen in the future? Like, all my coaches are there. Like,
Mhm.
I've been on crew since I was 16. Like, they know
Right.
how to work my character. Like, Billy Corgan came up with my character. Like, so just the whole aspect where it's like they know what they're doing. They're helping promote me really well. So I think just my first couple years, maybe until my 20s, if they keep me, hopefully,
Mhm.
like continuing to work there,
Yeah,
continuing to work there and grow, and then hopefully do bigger things. But I also just love NWA. Who knows what happens?
Mhm.
But yeah, I think just personally and like with wrestling, I think continuing to grow strength and conditioning
Mhm.
and just my character and just all that. But then also like my faith journey, continuing to stay strong with
Mhm.
that and like continuing to spread the gospel through wrestling, hopefully, I
yeah,
think would be cool. But I don't know, just whatever opportunities come to me, like God has a plan. Who knows what's gonna happen? I may
Right.
have a different perspective or idea of what I want to happen, but
Mhm.
who knows? I don't know what's in the future, but I'm excited for whatever's gonna happen. So
There it is. There
wow,
it is. Great. Great. Okay, so I have a side question because you've mentioned Billy
Mhm,
Corgan many times. Now, as young as you are,
mhm.
He's the, he runs, NWA. Did anyone tell you that he was Smashing Pumpkins lead singer and stuff? Or did you learn about this secondary to him being the NWA guy?
Owner, right?
Well, I definitely did not grow up with the Smashing Pumpkins.
Because I grew up with the Smashing Pumpkins. I can sing
Yeah.
Tonight right now, front to back. So that's
There
what
are
I'm
a couple
asking.
songs that I know because that's like my dad's genre of music. Well, like he wasn't the hugest big like Smashing Pumpkins fan, but he definitely had a couple songs that he was like, like I like that. But I was born in 2007, so I did not grow up with that.
That's what I want to say. So you just knew Billy as your wrestling guy,
But before we I think it was like my first couple months into like being at FTW and stuff, like I started to hear of Billy Corgan and like who he is, this big rock star and all of that. And then the connection started building where like the Tampa tapings, he would talk to me and all of that. So I don't know. It's pretty cool where it's like it's really chill, like, yeah, Billy Corgan's my boss. Like, but it's like but what's also
Smashing
funny
Pumpkins,
Yeah, exactly.
Only the
With
singer
this
of one of the
rock
best
star,
rock bands ever is my boss. It's
Yeah. But what's funny is when the Tampa tapings would like come in town, sometimes he would come to like our Thursday practices. And my parents would go with me to practices because I'm a 16-year-old, 17-year-old girl in wrestling.
Yeah,
Like
I'd
we
have been
test
following you
my
too.
classmates, but like just in general, like I go by myself.
Parent stuff. You got to make sure you know where your kid is and what's happening around them.
Exactly. Like even when I could start driving until I was 18, they still went with me. But whenever he came, it was whenever my mom was there at practice, and then my dad would get so upset because he was like,
I missed him again. Oh no!
He would get so upset by it. And he still hasn't met Billy Corgan after all
What?
this.
No, really? Oh no!
Like I've met him like 3 times already. Like every time I go to a taping, he's always walking around.
He's like talked to him or like walked by him. I think Billy knows he's my dad and stuff, but they haven't had a full on like discussion.
In passing, they've seen each other, but they haven't like sat down.
But my mom's talked to him several times. Like there was one practice that he came and he like told her and I the character Gretta that he wanted me to be and stuff like that. And he was like giggling over the idea of this character, which was so funny where it's like this rock star is like giggling over she's like my daughter. Like it's this whole thing. So it's like, and then the last taping, like we were backstage and he's sitting watching the monitor and I'm sitting right next to him. It's like on a random Saturday night, I'm watching wrestling with this rock star right next to me. I know life is crazy.
It is crazy.
But I don't know. He's just a cool dude. Where it's like, yes, I didn't grow up with him. I think he's cool. I like his music. Like, it's a cool. It's
a good vibe. It is a good vibe. I think the last time I ran into him at the last Tampa show, he likes to peek at the corner of the left thing, like over like on a speaker or something. He likes to stand on that thing. I think the last time I saw him and I was just like, for some reason, like I have this thing about bowing. So I went like, Billy, how are you? And then I just walked to my seat.
Now wait a second. Did you do that? Did you do the hand thing too, or no?
Yeah, I went.
Oh, you did the full hands. Oh, okay.
Billy said that to me, so like I think he appreciated it because I think it was the last. Yeah, the last taping. I think it was after I did like my match or something. He looked at me and he went.
Hey,
it's like that's how I know I did a good job when Billy does that. So it's a thing.
You got the bow. You got the bow. Now you know.
It's a thing. It's a thing. Yeah. Now I don't feel like a
Maybe
loser.
You
so
made
thank
it
you.
Thing. Who knows?
See,
may have you as well.
Look at Greta throwing out flowers when she don't need to. Look at that. That's awesome.
Thank you. You're the best. See?
Well, Greta, so I mean, you're absolutely fantastic, and at your age, the knowledge and the wherewithal and the comfortability that you seem to have with everything, even in just this conversation, has been absolutely fantastic. So the end of the stable question sandwich, which is something that, like I told you before, we're going to do. Obviously, you want to be in the ring for a major belt and at a major pay-per-view or whatever it may be.
PLE.
Well, I mean, does everyone call it PLEs now? Other companies may not.
Oh, that's true.
So that's what I'm saying. So I'm saying. So not, you don't have to mention an organization. Our question is, dream match, obviously for probably like a major belt, obviously at a major pay-per-view or PLE. Who would you like to fight currently on the current roster of women in any company? And being that you are kind of new to the game, which legend or someone who wrestling prior to you that you've seen in matches that you've watched or have possibly met or anything along those lines would you want to wrestle? So dream match current, dream match legend.
Oof.
Yeah.
Well, there are a lot of matches that I've already had that were kind of dream matches, like Natalia Markova, which I knew would happen at some point because she's my coach. But
Right.
like that was a good match, and like I've had several matches with her too, so that's been cool. I don't know, like I feel like it would definitely be cool to fight like Raquel Rodriguez one day.
I was about to say, I was like, I feel like
Wow.
you and Raquel Rodriguez would have a bomb match.
Yeah, I feel like in the past years as well, she's really come into her own, like with her height and
Absolutely.
everything. So I feel
Absolutely.
like just that sass, like versus Greta, I feel like it would be cool. Like I don't know, I feel like that would be a
Good.
battle. It would be a tough battle, but it would be a
One hell
good
of a
battle.
match. That'd be one hell of a
Yeah,
match.
it would be. Or if
Absolutely.
it was like her and Liv versus Tiffany and I, that would be sick too.
Ooh, yeah,
So
that'd be so good.
maybe. That would be. But then for like legends, like I didn't grow up with it, but definitely
Right.
watching back, I feel like if China was still around, or like
Good
hypothetically,
one. No one's
I
ever
feel like
mentioned
that
China before.
I feel
Great
like that would be
one.
sick. I feel I may
One.
lose, who knows? But it would be I would love to do that match. Cause
That's
like she's
solid.
one of the first like
Wow.
women's wrestlers that like shown that like you can be strong and powerful. Like, you can fight the guys and like
Right.
Yeah.
come like I don't know. She's
I
just
mean, she
Yeah.
was in the men's Royal Rumble. I think she was the
Yeah.
IC champ for a little
She was the
while.
first
So
IC
yeah,
women's
Exactly.
IC
that's
champ. Yeah, like
great.
technically, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah,
So
that's
I feel like that'd be
amazing.
sick. Again, like I may lose it, but
Yeah.
who knows?
We're not talking booking. We're just
I
talking
know.
who
I will
you
put
are.
up a fight. Greta will put up
I
a
mean,
fight.
obviously, if we're talking fantasy booking, you'd be like, yeah, I beat her for the belt, and it's fine.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Cakewalk, right?
Yeah.
Oh man, wow! But such good choices. China, yeah, China's a first for us. Like nobody has said China.
A
Really?
lot of the female talent we've spoken to, nobody's
They're
mentioned
just too
China yet.
scared.
That's
But I can
that's
take the
that's a
challenge.
that's a great one.
Yeah.
Props to you on that one. I
Wow.
mad respect on that one.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Wild. Okay, Dante, Greta. So here's the part of the show where we take this opportunity to, once again, truly thank you for the time, the opportunity to learn about you and learn about this journey that you've been on. And it's one of those things where
And it hasn't been very long. Is
Yeah.
the thing. It hasn't
Yeah.
been very long, and it's just going to increase and get better.
right. And that's
Yeah.
what I was actually going to say. I was going to say that we're actually super excited to have, a talent like yourself come on so early on, because now we get to enjoy the journey with you. Like we're going to watch, we're going to see, we're going to be there. Like it's,
Absolutely.
we get excited for things like that because 10, 20 years from now, 10 years, for probably less than 10 years from now, when you are at one of these bigger stages or bigger opportunities, we could sit here and say, wow, you remember when she first started, she was here on the show year one and like, she told us all these amazing things. And like, now look where at her now. She's, headlining the Tokyo Dome or at Madison Square Garden, or, you know what I mean? Like, it's things like that we get excited, for our primos. Now that you're an official prima of the show, right? You're officially a prima,
That's it. You're official family now.
Yeah,
you're
you're
official.
official.
You channeled us. You're official family.
That's it. So now you can go back to Tiffany and be like, haha, I'm a prima too. Suck it. You know what I mean? Like you can rub it in her face.
All we ask is you don't forget us. All we ask is when
I
you
won't.
get that big, don't forget us.
Definitely won't.
But we also want to take this time and this opportunity to give you, to let our primos and primas know where they could find you, where they could reach out to you, whether that be on social media or like, if there's a particular match that you want our listeners to know and find you and get to know you with, let us know where they could find all that. Please, the floor is yours. Let them all know where they can find Gretta.
Websites, handles, all of it, please.
Yeah. So definitely, I think I'm on everything. I have someone else run my social. So, but
Okay.
but
Smart move.
yeah, I could not handle that. But I'm on everything besides TikTok, I think. Like I have YouTube,
Okay.
I have Twitter, I have X, Facebook, Instagram. Yeah, and everything's under like Gretta Wrestling. So
Okay.
you can find me
Smart.
there.
Clean.
Yeah, under everything. And then I usually post about upcoming shows I have on there. Everything. So you can find stuff there. And then NWA is on Roku every Tuesday on the sports channel
It's a
at 8
company
p.m.
lady right there. That's a
Yeah.
company lady right
Yeah, so
there.
watch there. Or they have it on demand too. So if you guys can't
Nice.
catch it live, you can go back and
It's
make
always
sure.
available.
Yeah. So that's pretty much it. Socials, Greta Wrestling.
Is
Posting
there an
training.
underscore anywhere? Is it all one word?
I think it's one word. I don't
Okay.
know. If not, you can Google it. It'll work out.
You'll find it. You'll find
You'll
it.
find
You'll
me. You'll
get to
find
it.
me. But yeah, so post training videos, upcoming shows, just personal life too, getting to know me.
Great. Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, once again, that's what I said at the beginning. Is that's what we want people to do. We want people to learn about the people behind the characters. Behind the people they see in the ring, to see that it's while it is acting and predetermined and all these things, that there is a person back there who has desires and wants and hobbies and things like that. So we want people to get to learn that, because it connects. It makes people connect more. So one of the reasons, once again, why we love doing this, and why this was absolutely fantastic, because you have been very, very open and honest with everything you said. I
Yes.
think that will
Yeah.
definitely endear you to a lot of people, especially at such a young age, and being as responsible, respectful, and great as you are, and just knowing what you have to do and doing it. The responsibility level of someone your age to be able to do something like that is absolutely amazing. So I don't want you to feel like I'm talking down to you when I say that. I'm more impressed
Yeah.
at how someone who because when I was your age, I don't want to tell you what I was doing. Like, but you have your head on your shoulders, and you're doing everything right for your future, and that's absolutely fantastic. So
Yeah. But like Ariel was saying, kudos to you for the level of professionalism and the way that you handled yourself in this interview. You are not only lovely, as Aretta outside of the ring, but you are an incredible force in the ring as Greta. It's fantastic
Absolutely.
watching you. It's fantastic experiencing the whole thing live. You are truly, truly, truly amazing. And we can't wait to see this journey unfold and just
to
root.
follow the journey. Yeah.
And root and support you along the way. And we're truly grateful that you gave us the opportunity to have you on the show and to be your first podcast interview. So thank you for that. We are truly, truly, truly honored. And and then also
great job. Great job,
Yeah.
by the way.
Rocked it.
Thank you.
You rocked it. You knocked it out the park, like everything you've been doing. And also, I just want to, say thanks to mom and dad and to the family, because guess what?
Yeah.
Having a tremendous support system that you have is truly, truly, truly a blessing. I mean, Ariel and I literally just spoke about this the other day. We were like, what we're so grateful about this podcast is when we first told our family about it, they weren't like, what are you guys doing? You're wasting your time. That never a negative thing ever spoken. Our family was like, do it. You guys are perfect for it, et cetera, et cetera. You have great chemistry. It'll be
they're
fun.
still listening, which is
And they're
great.
still listening. So we understand how important a support system, a tribe, a family is. So shout outs to mom and dad, to your brother, to everybody that helps you
Thank
support
you.
you.
Thank
And
you.
also shout outs to your NWA FTW family as well, because, although they're not blood, they're still your family. They're still helping you through the bumps and the pains and through this journey. So Greta, once again, a million thanks. You were a doll. You were lovely. You were fantastic. And again, tremendous job. We are so honored to have had you on the show. Thank you again.
Yeah, absolutely. And we can't wait to like you said, watch the progression and to have you back. Whenever you want to come back, this door is always open. You let one of us know, and we can, if you want to chat a pay-per-view, a PLE, an upcoming event that you're having, or if you just want to sit down and chat for another little bit, please feel free to let us know, because you are officially a prima now, and you are family. You will forever be. Once again, as I said in the beginning, like, thank you for the time, because we know how important it is, and we know how many things you have to do and what goes into your craft. So to take the time that you were able to give to us, and to be candid and honest and professional as you've been, has been an absolute pleasure. So thank you wholeheartedly. and I mean that
Yeah,
sincerely.
thank
Thank you kindly.
you.
Yes. You're
Yeah.
the best. We'll be watching and we'll be seeing each other soon. All right?
We
All
will.
right.
Take care.
Thank you, Greta. Have a wonderful night. We truly appreciate you.
You too. Thank you.
Have a good
Bye.
one.
Woo! That was the best way to describe it for me, at least.
Mhm.
That was adorable. I loved every bit of it.
Well, that's the thing is because I think she is green when it comes to interviews, and not saying that you and I are,
Yeah,
we've been doing this for years, but we've done this enough times where you can kind of gauge it. I think with the fact that she was so green, it did it's more endearing. It's like, oh, like this is truly the opportunity to meet somebody behind the character and who it is. And she's once again very professional, very smart, and got a great head on her shoulders for someone at such a young age.
yeah, no, she did. She did very well. And then also just excited. I think what made it even more special for me is like when she was talking about her trainers, like, Natalia
Mhm.
Markova and Idol and Mike Mondo. It's funny because I get to see these folks walking around every time I go to the tapings. You know what I mean? So, and I've
Right.
been able to see their FTW shows, and their production is really well. Like for the independent scene, for the parents and the families that can't take their kids to the TKO pricing of a SmackDown or a Raw. This is
Mhm.
truly the next best thing because you have action packed, amazing wrestling, made for the family. And
Great storytelling, all the stuff.
yeah,
Like, yeah.
so to see all these worlds come together, again, I can't say it enough. Like I think that's what gets me excited about the independent scene. Having all these dots connected, seeing how one
Mhm.
person went from this promotion to NWA to now TNA to this to that. It's a beautiful
Mhm.
thing. So truly,
Yeah.
truly grateful that Greta
I mean, that's
spent this
great.
time with us.
Absolutely. And I mean, even when she was, like you said, speaking about everybody and speaking about Tiffany, one of our primas,
Yeah,
like it's great. And to know that she has that support system, not only with her family, but with the locker room, because she has been there and doing the ring work for such a long time. Yeah, it's great. It's beneficial. And it's awesome to know that, and to hear that, because a lot of times, you hear that wrestling is such a cutthroat industry because everybody wants that top spot. Everybody
right.
wants that. So to know that, here's a locker room that took such a young person in, and instead of tearing them down to get rid of them, so it was one less person on the roster, it was no, let's build this, let's grow this to, once again, as you and I say, when we speak to people, to make this better for the future because they love it, so they want this to continue. So why not prep the kids coming up to be that?
Exactly. Exactly, primo. Bueno, with that being said, speaking of support systems, let's take this opportunity to go ahead and thank all of our primos and primas and our listeners, everyone that has taken the time to not only like us and subscribe to us, but, really go ahead and share our videos, comment on our stuff, and just truly, truly, truly support what we're trying to do here. And we're truly grateful for it. And primo,
Yes.
where do they go to get all our stuff?
Oh, you want to find any information, you go to primosforlife.com. When you arrive to that section or to that website, you go and pick whatever you use, Apple Music, Amazon, Spotify, whatever it is. YouTube, go there, smash the follow, the like button so you get all the notifications so you know when we're on. This is a great ride that Eddie and I love to do. And I always say it's better when you're along with us. And once again, the reactions and the love that we get is amazing and it keeps us hungry. So please, please keep doing so.
Yes. Feed me more. Hashtag Ryback.
Skip Sheffield? I mean, right back, yeah.
Yeah. Bueno, primo. Entonces, on that note, you know what to do, my man.
Once again, everybody, muchísimas gracias for everything that you do, all the listening, all the likes, all the shares, everything. Thank you to Greta for, once again, a wonderful individual, a smart young lady with a good head on her shoulders. If you've listened to this, please take your time. Go to YouTube, go to the socials, find her, watch the matches. She's absolutely fantastic. Yeah. That being said, once again, we can't help but thank y'all enough. We love you, we appreciate you, and we will see you when we see you.
Yeah, we will see you when we see you. Take care, everyone.
Good night.